Welcome back, guys, to my channel. Today we're going to review Port Adelaide's clash with Sydney at the SCG. Welcome back, Port Adelaide. That's all I have to say. Finally, we show some form that we had glimpses of over the last couple of years. Glimpses in the JLT series. Back to our 2014 best, and what a way to do it against Sydney up at the SCG. It was just an amazing game, a four-quarter effort, and just the pressure from our team was unbelievable. And to come out winners, but not just winners, like we won 5 goals. It's an effort that will go down as probably one of our greatest round 1 wins in our 20-year history. Wow. I'm over the moon, so I'm glad for our team, and hopefully we can carry this forward in 2017 into next week. So looking at the game itself, we were just outstanding right across the board. Our defence stood up against the tools of Sam Reid and Buddy Franklin. Our midfield was sensational. Ollie Wines, you are a star. And little side note, what a great little fantasy pickup. 110, 30 odd possessions, contested possessions. He is just a beast in there, and he definitely carried us through there. Travis Boak in his 200th game, sensational effort, an inspiration. He was just outstanding across the board, kicking a couple of goals too, leading by example. You can't go wrong with Travis Boak in his game on the weekend. The other big one was obviously the young gun, the beast himself, Sam Powell-Pepper. That kid should get a Rising Star nomination for this week. You could throw Andrew McGrath in there as well from Essendon, but I don't see. I think Powell-Pepper had a bigger impact across the game itself, kicking an absolute monster goal late in the third quarter, just to get us some breathing space. And then obviously his first goal was a beauty too. Both from around outside 50 or just inside the first one. But that's 19 possessions too. I think I read somewhere that is the greatest, statistically, the greatest first game any player's ever had. He beat Nathan Buckley. Wingard had a good first game too when he debuted, but as a debutant, Sam Powell-Pepper statistically had the greatest round 1 first game out of anyone in history. I could be wrong about that, but I read that somewhere. So Sam Powell-Pepper, you absolute gun. Brad Ebert, sensational in the midfield too. Charlie Dixon showed some promise. If he can kick straighter, you know, he'll be more potent up forward, but he showed some really good signs. Paddy Ryder was outstanding in the ruck and up forward too, showing some signs as well. Who else was there? Tom Cleary. What a game you played, son. Outstanding effort on Buddy Franklin. Up the ground, back deep in the defence as well. Tom Cleary, you've come from nowhere really, and you're going to be in that best 22. I think now you've cemented yourself. And it was good to see as well the likes of Aaron Young continuing their form. Sam Gray was great across the board. Hamish Hartlett came out of nowhere, had I think about 17 or 18 possessions, kicked a goal as well. He was very good across half back. Burn Jones, excellent. Every player really. Just a great effort. It was really good to see that we stood up from the pressure of pre-season with Koshy. Ken Hinckley's under a lot of pressure. A lot of murmurs around in the media too. And for our boys to come out on the weekend and show that this team has what it takes to be right up there competing with the very best. It's just really great signs, and could not be more prouder of the boys over the weekend. So those players themselves deserve a pat on the back. The only negative was after the game and Fox Footy not showing the song with audio. they did that all weekend. A little bit of favouritism, to the other team, showing their song, but it's not too much go into. Obviously, we got the song anyway, so sing it loud and proud, Port fans. Hopefully, another win against Fremantle this week. But let's move on. The best players for the round 1 against Sydney. I'll give them my 3. Let's do. It's a review, so might as well just give 3, 2, 1. 1 vote goes to the skipper, Trappers Boat. Led from the front. Was outstanding across the board, kicking a couple of goals. He was right in there. So he gets 1 vote. 2 votes. It was a toss-up, but I'm going to give it to Paddy Ryder. His influence around the ground, his influence in the ruck, gave us first hand. It was absolutely outstanding. Some honourable mentions. Brad Ebert, outstanding as usual, right across the board, really fantastic. Charlie Dixon was fantastic as well up forward. Obviously died off when the weather came in. Who else was there? Tom Cleary was excellent as well. But 3 votes would have to go to Thunder Thighs, Ollie Wines. Outstanding game. He definitely has to be, should get the 3 votes for the game in the Brownlow. Ollie was just outstanding, in there, hard and tough. That's his sort of game. Getting in there, using his big build, and just moving the ball forward. And hopefully we'll see more of that consistently during the year. And if he continues to do that, Port Adelaide will be a more potent team against other teams. And if we show that form every week, then definitely we will be right up there against the very best. Things I learnt from round 1. Number 1, you can't mess with Sam Powell-Pepper. Don't mess with him. He will just ruin you. He ruined Sean Burgoyne in the 3rd pre-season game, and he is a monster. That kid's going to be a star in the future. Don't want to blow too much smoke up his ass, but definitely Sam Powell-Pepper is going to be a star, and hopefully a Rising Star nomination for him coming this week for round 1. Number 2, Sydney might flop for 2017. If that's their form, I think really they went in too cocky for the game. They thought this is going to just be the same Port Adelaide. Sydney will roll over the top, get a comfortable win, move on to next week. But we showed our true Port Adelaide spirit, and we got the job done. So Sydney, next week I think we play the Dogs. So for them, they'll have to rebuild, regroup, and see where they're at. The 3rd thing I learnt from the game is, welcome back, Port Adelaide. That's all I have to say. That's the 3rd, finally. We're welcoming back the best Port Adelaide. Best game we've played in a couple of years, surely. And I really think that we have that momentum now to move into the next month, which is really tough. Fremantle at home, Adelaide coming off a great win against the Giants. Then we played the Giants in Canberra, and then we got Carlton on a Friday night off for Anzac Day, so that should be a beauty as well. So yeah, it's a really tough month, but momentum is key. So that's the other thing I learned. Momentum is key, especially during a game. Obviously, you build on each play, and then eventually you start to get this forward movement, and just flows all the way through during the game, and the players, they connect and they start building. So as long as you carry that through a game, you'll carry that the next week, the week after, and you start building a season, and that's when you become really successful. So yeah, that's really the main thing as I learnt, and the just pure joy it is to be a Power fan right now. After the last couple of dismal seasons, all the posts I've seen through forums and Facebook and Twitter, very positive. So it was great to see us get a good win against Sydney. by 28 points. So there you go, guys. That's my review for Port Adelaide versus Sydney, round 1, 2017. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought of the game. And let's move on to next week. Fremantle at home. Hopefully see you there. I'm Anthony, and come on the Pet.